This is also the time for our letter from Wellington. It's usually on my show on a Tuesday, the letter from Wellington. It says what's going wrong in Wellington, my show between 10 and 1, but because I'm filling in for Sean at the moment, he's got COVID. But just to explain again, Councillor Tony Randle from the Wellington City Council joins us now. Tony, have you ever seen or suspected that somebody is possessed by a devil or a demon?
Honestly, no, but sometimes I cannot, for the life of me, follow the logic of some people when they make these big assertions about the world.
You see, just quietly, Tony, I couldn't be on the sitting as an elected member of the Wellington City Council and not sit around a council table and think that. Just quietly. I go, oh.
Yes, I know. Look, you've got me worried again. I thought, Wellington... At least, I'm going to say that at least Wellington's got many problems, but at least it hasn't got the problem that you've just outlined in Christchurch.
Oh, well, there you go.
As far as I know. So,
there you go.
We're ahead. We're ahead of them, you know.
You're ahead of the curve, mate. I suppose you've got to, if you believe that you're going to be possessed by demons, you've got to believe in the first place, don't you? Or do non-believers get possessed by the devil and demons as well? There's a question. All right, mate. Now, the last time I talked to you was a week ago. I'd like to think of something positive about Wellington, but last week it was really negative because there was this opinion survey out that said that basically even Wellington, woke old Wellington, had enough of the council, and basically didn't want to live there. I do note one piece of information, and that was that one of your retailers who was going to quit and leave because the council has decided to stay. So that's positive, isn't it?
That is positive. I know retail is pretty tough. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but the
one that was there forever, and they were going to close down. They were in a side street.
Is it Cranfield?
What's the one, Josh? Cranfields.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good, and that's good news.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that. No, that's not been news in Wellington. So thank you for that.
No, they're going to stay. They were going to go. They blamed your council for part of the going. They said the bloody woke council, but now they've received so much support from Wellington people, they've decided to stay.
Well, that's excellent. And look, it goes to show that if you've got a good business reputation, then that counts for a lot. And there are some real iconic businesses in every city, and we should support them, especially if they're locally owned and such like, because that's what makes a city good city character, among many other things.
So how's your mayor going at the moment? Everything going better? You've had your long-term plan. You've got it underway. You've decided to sell the Wellington or the shares that you own in Wellington Airport. It was all a bit miffy. Is it all calmed down now?
Well, it's on the surface, it's pretty calm, but behind the scenes is still a battle going on. The latest thing is around Thornton Quay, where they're again putting in some stupid road designs. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and now some of the key stakeholders who use that road, including AA New Zealand, trucking industry, and fire and emergency, are all meeting with the council and saying, look, why do we have all these speed bumps, about 6 speed bumps along 2 kilometres of one of the busiest roads in Wellington, in raised pedestrian crossings? It's just traffic safety gone mad. They're complaining because they're putting in signalised pedestrian crossing. Those are the ones with the lights. Can I ask you on
that, Tony? I had the mayor of Nelson on the show yesterday, Nick Smith, and he was saying something astronomical. He said to me that one of the greatest costs that council have in doing roading, in actual fact, in terms of contracting out roading within his area, was actually road cones. It was the amount of traffic safety mitigation, and the cost of that, he said, was, he mentioned something staggering, like up to 25% of a total contract was just mitigating
more.
safety.
I've heard more.
Oh, really?
I've heard more. Yes, for example, when you see the people cutting the trees along the side of the roads to clear back the sight lines at intersections and that, which is really important work. There'll be traffic control there, and that could be 40% of the costs of actually just doing all of the work. It's really over the top in many ways. They did they fixed a light pole that got damaged, and right next door to me where I live, they had traffic control even though it was a dead-end street. And it took them like 3 goes, 3 nights, three visits to go and do it. So it wasn't traffic control one day and it's all fixed. No, they come back, went away, took the pole out, came back, put the pole in, but the electricity wasn't either. They had to come back and put the electricity on. Must have cost $20,000 easy.
Yeah, and yet there's no comeback you've got to that. I often ask this question, and councils don't seem to care really because they're a monopoly at the end of the day. But the amount of contracts that you give out, sometimes I get the feeling that contractors see you coming, are dealing with people who aren't necessarily commercially aware, and are conscious of the fact that even though they sign a contract with you, there are always provisions that seems to ratchet up what the ratepayers will pay for whatever it might be, whether it's a wastewater treatment plant or the simple roading that you've just discovered.
I think they see us coming as well. I think the starting price is often pretty high because they know, councils have deep pockets. So we're going to put our gold-plated price on the starting point. Wellington, partly because it's an expensive place to live, we are shorter contractors. So we've had periods where we've put work out to contract to fix like slips and things like that, put drainage into a moving piece of land, and no bidders have turned up. And often we I don't know the figures, but I do have been told that sometimes there's only one bid for a contract. So what do you do? That's a big problem, and it costs us a lot of money. In the annual plan last year, the roading cost just went up 25%, just like that. It had been fixed for 3 years, and then 25% road increase, and so we just added that on the budget, added that on the rates, and off we go.